In May of 2015, a group of 20 young adults raised over $6,000 to provide a free 1 week program to 40 students in the south side of Chicago. The camp was called I Love You Summer Camp, and it targeted underprivileged, high potential youth, ages 4 to 11. They gave the children the opportunity to express themselves through sports, art, and dance. Additionally, campers received 3 healthy meals a day and were educated on topics such as financial literacy, food nutrition, and multicultural history. In 2017, they hosted the camp again. This time was for 4 weeks. They raised over $23,000 and served 100 plus students. This year, there was an I Love You pedagogy that focused on identifying strengths and encouraging individuality, exploring new ideas and environments, as well as alternative discipline methods. Additionally, they added weekly field trips, brought in guest speakers, and had the campers undergo daily meditations every morning. Why, you may ask? Because the community who created, donated, developed, and brought I Love You to life was born and raised in Chicago, and Chicago is more than their birthplace but their home. Chicago is the home of music, film, dance, theater, and architecture. Chicago has created some of the world's greatest athletes and most talented artists. Chicago has all taught us something special, from the extraordinary people you meet to the immaculate omnipresence of buildings touching the clouds as you walk through the loop, the high school basketball games, art festivals, lakefront bike rides, and movies in the park. This city is a cultural epicenter of America, and that sentiment is shared with everyone on the I Love You team. This is something that needs to persist. Chicago is an elite city of the world, and in order for us to stay as such, our youth must be empowered and educated. I Love You is dedicated to doing everything in their power to ensure Chicago's future is a bright one. In 2020, I Love You planned to raise $100,000 and serve close to 200 students. However, due to COVID-19, they had to change their course of action. Instead of a summer camp, this May, they raised $20,000 through private donations and distributed the funds to 60 families across the Chicagoland area. Later that summer, they hosted a supply drive with MASS, Mothers Against Street Shooters, to provide youth with back-to-school supplies and clothes for the fall. COVID has changed how almost every business operates. Even though it is COVID, children still need to learn and be engaged. And pandemic or not, we all have to eat. Unfortunately, even before COVID, the children that I Love You served were in food insecure areas. After a brief intermission, we will discuss this complex issue of food insecurity and how I Love You plans to get involved.
How did the idea come about with this food truck plan?
So the food truck actually came about during our COVID Relief Fund drop-offs. We were driving around a little bit north side, west side, south side, even a little bit out of the city, and we'd be in some neighborhoods, and one of us mentioned, like, man, when was the last time we saw a grocery store? And we were all talking about it, and we're like, man, like, we could do this. We could, supply food for these neighborhoods that don't have access to healthy food, grocery stores. And so it kind of just started from there. And actually, one of the recipients of our highest reward, we gave her $1,200 for her and her baby girl. She worked at a refuge for women who have suffered domestic abuse. And they have this garden where it's all grown by everyone who stays in the shelter. It's like, usually they have like 30 to 40 residents. Because of COVID, they were down to like 10 to 15. So they were actually nice enough to give us a really intimate tour. We went through the whole garden. And that was after we had talked about the food truck idea, and it kind of just like, we're like, man, this is crazy that we like experienced this. We talked about partnering with them. It's called Sukasa. And so we kind of went from there. We're like, if we can partner with them, we can probably talk to other food suppliers across the city and, really get this thing rolling, because Kamal laid a great foundation with the summer camps, and obviously this year we couldn't make it happen. So we kind of just like met up in the park one day and we're like, what should we do with this money that we have for the camps? And people are struggling. And so we thought this COVID relief application might be a good idea, just to see who would apply, and we were kind of taken back by how many applications we had. So that got the ball rolling on everything, and it kind of just, naturally all happened. And we couldn't be more excited about it, and just like privileged to make this sort of impact to people who really need it.
Although Chicago is a dynamic hub of art, business, architecture, sports, community, and so much more, over 500,000 of its residents live in food deserts. Food deserts are neighborhoods that have inadequate access to produce and healthy food. Food deserts primarily exist in communities of color where residents are low income and may have access to no modes of transportation. People in these areas are forced to do their grocery shopping at corner stores and gas stations. The effect of this stark reality manifests itself in a multitude of ways. As we step into the shoes of a food insecure resident, we will be able to see why food deserts have such a destructive impact on our community and future leaders of this world, our children. Compared to your Northside counterpart, you are 2.5 times more exposed to fast food restaurants, have a lifespan that's 8.8 years shorter, and are twice as likely to die from diabetes. Additionally, over 34% of households are under the poverty line, and 29.4% of residents in your neighborhood receive SNAP benefits. 700,000 jobs are located within 30-minute train or bus ride from the Loop in Northside, while only 50,000 are located within 30-minute commute from where you're located. Yes, every major city is somewhat segregated. Yes, there are richer neighborhoods than others. Yes, there will naturally be areas that lack certain societal infrastructure. However, these problems mentioned above are exacerbated by food deserts and can be attenuated through adequate access to healthy food. Unfortunately, children and students are the ones hit hardest by food deserts. Children who live in food deserts may exhibit an array of behavioral problems such as fighting, hyperactivity, anxiety, aggression, bullying, mood swings, and shortened attention spans. Food insecurity serves as a catalyst for poor academic achievement. In Chicago, this is very important because the city is known historically for closing schools. Between 2013 and 2016 alone, Chicago closed 103 public elementary and high schools, the majority in the south and west sides of the city. When the city decides what schools to close, they examine test scores, attendance, and other parameters that are directly impacted by a child's ability to perform. Additionally, after a school is closed, these children get put into a neighboring school that rarely receives additional resources equitable to the amount of students they received. This leaves the institution understaffed and classrooms overpopulated. Why do our kids have to suffer from the ineptitude of the generations before them? I Love You works with these rising stars directly and wants to see them grow and blossom into incredible members of society. These are the next artists, innovators, entrepreneurs, and problem solvers of the world, and we stand by their holistic development, and that starts with what they put into their body. If they can eat 3 healthy meals a day, we're at least giving them a chance to take on the challenge of improving the world that we're going to leave them.
My name is Dion Fry. I am the founder of Mothers Against Street Shooters Mass. We do all charity work, anything that we can do. First of all, everything that Mass does is done in love. We are committed and dedicated to the children in our community, to everyone basically, to the elders in our community. We do all kind of things. We've got mothers that love to cook, and we feed our community. We take pride in our food, and we're grateful that the people in our community receive our food because they know we cook with love.
We will not have a community. We will not have anything if the kids are not fed. The kids are the ones that got to grow up and make the community. So it's up to us to step in and help. And it's hard. We blame the parents a lot, but the parents have a hard time too. Most of them don't. A lot of them don't have education. They can't buy enough food. They don't have enough food. Everybody says, well, they get food stamps. You know how high food stamps. Food stamps are high, and those kids need to eat. Without their survival, we have no survival.
Correct.
So we got to feed the kids.
And guess what? The children are the future. I have grandchildren right now. If our children are not taken care of right now, we have no future.
Our solution to this problem is simple: access. Bring the food to the people. Give our residents the opportunity to explore and experience the wonders of affordable, healthy food. Although grocery shopping can be seen as an errand for some, it is a place of salvation and respite for others. Imagine being a caring mother who wants to ensure that her kids have the proper nutrients to grow, learn, and play. Going to the corner store to pick out what's for dinner is an extremely stressful reality. Through our Food Oasis initiative, residents, such as the one I previously described, will be able to get fresh produce and ready-made meals delivered to their door. Additionally, by mobilizing 10 food trucks throughout the city's food insecure areas, South and West Siders the opportunity to shop for quality food within a mile radius of their home. From our research and experience of working in these areas, we aspire to create a new normal for Chicago's South and West Sides, a reality where a single mother can provide for her family stress-free, where a fifth grader walking to class can get a breakfast for under $5 that will allow him or her to perform well in class. A reality in which the only businesses you see in your neighborhood aren't fast food restaurants, dialysis centers, and under-resourced bodegas.
We are normalizing healthy eating, normalizing home-cooked meals, normalizing ordering groceries as opposed to Postmates. We will change the paradigm of residents in the hood, so much so that when we're finished, Chicago won't have any more hoods. Our unique process of execution empowers each part of our supply chain and allows us to significantly mitigate costs. Because of our strong connections with community leaders and partnerships with organizations based in the inner city, we were able to implement our action plan using shared resources and information. Through the relationships we have with restaurants and local farms, we're able to source our ready-made meals and the majority of our produce at discounted rates. Our restaurants receive money for food they would have otherwise thrown away, and because our connections with urban farms throughout the city, we are able to compost their food waste, creating a closed-loop cycle. The same farms that are providing our residents with fresh produce are growing their food through compost from our restaurant partners. By highlighting and making our supply chain transparent to our customers, we hope that they become more interested in where their food comes from and what exactly they're putting in their body. We aspire to not only feed our residents, but educate them on food nutrition so they can navigate their current food desert. Every week, each of our food trucks will host a cooking demonstration where we prepare meals from ingredients on our truck. It's not enough to just give a resident a cucumber tomato if they don't know how to make a salad. Coupling culinary classes with strong social media campaign and virtual classes as well, our holistic approach to food nutrition will break down this barrier and give residents the confidence to shop healthily. At I Love You, we envision a future of creativity, access, innovation, and happiness. Since 2015, we've been investing in this ideal. Because who is going to end up running the world? Who will be the ones to literally and figuratively pick up the mess we've made? Kids. Children are the future, which is why we started I Love You Summer Camp.
To give them the proper resources to become intellectuals, artists, entrepreneurs, and leaders. Although we provided hundreds of students with educational and artistic resources this summer, if they aren't eating and are classified as malnourished by the World Health Organization, then all our curriculum is void. All of the supplies they get aren't being put to proper use. All of our hard work and effort we put to design engaging educational material gets thrown out the window because our kids will be hungry. A hungry kid is a distracted, irritable, tired, anxious, restless, and often aggressive kid. So we took it upon ourselves to feed the families of the South and West Sides of Chicago, so that when their kids come to our camp, they can perform at the highest level. In 2021, we plan on having our biggest, longest, most impactful camp yet. And to ensure its success, we will be providing our Chicago family on the South and West Sides with fresh produce and ready-made meals. Food brings people together. Food is life and community. Food is a celebration, an act of kindness, nostalgia. Food is healing. Food is giving. Food empowers and is vital to the well-being of all humans. I Love You pledges to give this basic right of food access to all inner-city residents of Chicago.
After a brief intermission, we will explain the logistics of bringing this project to fruition. joining us in our feature presentation of our Food Oasis program. This is I Love You, and I Love You started because we care about the city, and we care about children, and we see ourselves in the children we serve. This is why we start with children, because the children are